Planning your trip to the 2026 World Cup in Mexico City? You're in the right place. In this guide, we're covering everything you need to know: where to stay safely, how to handle the altitude, getting to Estadio Azteca, and all the practical details to make your trip incredible. I've done the research, so you don't have to. Let's dive in and get you ready for Mexico City. So you're heading to Mexico City for the World Cup in 2026. How exciting is that? And here's the big thing. Estadio Azteca is hosting the opening match on June 11th, 2026, the very first game of the tournament. The most historic stadium in football, welcoming the world back to Mexico. The energy is going to be absolutely electric. Beyond the opening match, Azteca is hosting 5 total World Cup matches, group stage games, and knockout rounds. We're talking June, so it's prime summer in Mexico City. This is one of the most iconic venues in the sport, and you're going to be a part of history. Oh, and I'm Scott. My sons and I love traveling to sporting events together, and we're planning our own World Cup adventure in 2026. Building these guides is part of that journey. I want to make sure we all have an incredible time, and I'm excited to help you make 2026 unforgettable too. All right, let's get into the details and get you ready for this adventure. First of all, let's talk safety and what they call the bubble. Before we get into hotels and transportation, let's talk about the most important thing: staying safe in Mexico City. Here's the reality. Mexico City is a massive metropolis of over 20 million people. Like any major city, there are safe areas and areas you want to avoid. The good news is that as a tourist, you're going to be staying in what locals call the bubble, specific neighborhoods where international visitors stay, where security is strong, and where you can walk around comfortably. The safe neighborhoods, called the bubble, this is the main areas that you'll want to stick to. These are Roma, Condesa, and Polanco. These are the safest, most tourist-friendly neighborhoods in the city. They've got great restaurants, cafes, nightlife, and you can walk around day or night without issues. We'll talk more about each neighborhood in detail in a minute, but just know, if you stay in one of these areas, you're in good shape. Coyoacán is also safe and charming. It's a bit further out, but historic and beautiful. Centro Histórico, the historic center, is fine during the day for sightseeing, but it gets overwhelming and loud at night. It's not ideal for your home base during the tournament. Now here's where not to go. Outside of these tourist areas, there are neighborhoods you should avoid. I'm not going to list them all, but the simple rule is stick to the bubble. Don't wander into random neighborhoods just to explore. If you're not sure whether an area is safe, ask your hotel or check with locals you trust. Let's talk about transportation safety. This is critical. Here's where a lot of tourists make mistakes. Never ever hail a taxi off the street in Mexico City. Street taxis are where robberies and scams happen. I'm not trying to scare you, but this is important. Your safe options are Uber. This is your best friend in Mexico City. It's cheap, it's tracked, and it's safe. A ride that would cost you $70 in New York might be $8 to $12 here. Always use Uber or the Mexican app Didi. Never get in an unmarked cab. Let's talk about sitio taxis. These are authorized taxi stands, usually at hotels, shopping centers, or major landmarks. They're regulated, the drivers are vetted, and they're safe. They cost more than Uber, but they're legitimate. Let's talk about airport taxis. When you land at the airport, you'll see official airport taxi booths inside the terminal. You pay up front, get a ticket, and they assign you a car. These are safe. What's not safe is walking outside and getting into a random cab. Here's some common scams to watch out for. The classic scam is the street taxi. Someone offers you a cheap ride, you get in, and suddenly there's a problem. They take you somewhere you don't want to go, or more friends get in the car, or they charge you 10 times what they quoted. Just don't do it. Uber solves this completely. Another one is people on the street offering tours or tickets. Only buy from official sources or verified tour companies. Keep your phone and valuables close, especially in crowded places like markets or the metro. Pickpockets exist here like any major city. Here's the bottom line on safety. Stay in the bubble. That's Roma, Condesa, Polanco. Use Uber for everything. Don't flash expensive jewelry or cameras, and use common sense. Thousands of tourists visit Mexico City every year and have amazing experiences. You just need to be smart about it. Let's talk about getting to Mexico City. You'll be flying into Mexico City International Airport, officially called Benito Juarez International Airport, but everyone just calls it MEX or AICM. It's about 5 miles east of the main tourist neighborhoods and one of the busiest airports in Latin America. If you're flying internationally, you'll almost certainly arrive here. It's a major hub with connections from all over the world. The airport is big, can feel chaotic if you're not used to it, but it's manageable. Getting from the airport to your hotel. This is where safety really matters. You've got a few options. The first, authorized airport taxis. Inside the terminal, after you clear customs, you'll see official taxi booths. You pay up front, usually around $20 to $30 depending on which neighborhood you're going to. They give you a ticket and you take that ticket outside to the designated taxi area. These are safe and regulated. A bit more expensive than Uber, but totally legitimate. The next is Uber. This is the cheapest option and it's safe. Here's how it works. After you land and get your bags, connect to the airport Wi-Fi, open Uber and request a ride. The pickup area for Uber is on the departures level, one floor up from arrivals. Walk upstairs, head outside, and look for the designated rideshare pickup zone. Your ride will probably cost $8 to $15 to Roma or Condesa, maybe $15 to $20 to Polanco. It's way cheaper than a taxi. Next is the metro. Technically, you can take the metro from the airport into the city. It costs less than $1, but here's the problem. If you have luggage, it's a nightmare. The metro is crowded, there are pickpockets, and navigating with bags is stressful. I don't recommend it for your airport transfer. Once you've settled into the city, the metro is fine for getting around without luggage. Here's what not to do. Do not walk outside the terminal and get into a random taxi. Those drivers will overcharge you, might not take you where you asked to go, and it's not safe. Stick to the authorized options I just mentioned. Here are some details on where to stay and the neighborhoods. In Mexico City, the neighborhood you pick matters way more than the specific hotel. Each area has its own vibe, and you want to choose based on what kind of experience you want. Roma and Condesa. These are my top picks for most travelers. Roma Norte and Condesa are right next to each other, and they're the heart of Mexico City's trendy, walkable, international food scene. Think tree-lined streets, sidewalk cafes, great restaurants, bars, art galleries, and a younger, hip vibe. You can walk around safely day and night. There are tons of Airbnbs and boutique hotels in this area. Prices are reasonable compared to other major cities. You might find a nice place for $80 to $150 per night, with some upscale options going a little bit higher. To get to Estadio Azteca from Roma or Condesa, you're looking at about 45 to 60 minutes by Uber or Metro, depending on traffic and which route you take. This is where I'd stay if I wanted the full Mexico City experience. It's got great food, walkable neighborhoods, it's safe, and still authentic. Let's talk about Polanco. This is the luxury option. Polanco is Mexico City's upscale business and shopping district. Think fancy hotels, designer stores, high-end restaurants, and a very polished international feel. It's extremely safe, probably the safest neighborhood in the city. You'll see security guards, well-maintained streets, and it feels very cosmopolitan. The downside is it's more expensive and less authentically Mexican than Roma or Condesa. Hotels here can run $150 to $300 plus per night. You're getting luxury and security. To get to Estadio Azteca from Polanco, you're looking at about 60 to 75 minutes. It's a bit further, but if safety and comfort are your top priorities, Polanco delivers. Coyoacan. This is the historic, charming option. Coyoacan is a neighborhood in the south of the city known for its colonial architecture, cobblestone streets, and bohemian vibe. It's where Frida Kahlo lived, and it's got a completely different feel from the modern areas. It's safe, especially around the main plazas and tourist areas. It's great for weekend exploring as well. The downside is it's further from the main action. You'll need to Uber or take the metro to get to Roma or Condesa for nightlife. Hotels and Airbnbs here are affordable, $60 to $120 per night. To get to Estadio Azteca from Coyoacan, you're actually closer, about 30 to 40 minutes. If you're all about the stadium and want a more local historic vibe, Coyoacan could work. Centro Histórico. This is the downtown historic center, the Zócalo, the cathedral, Palacio de Bellas Artes, all the iconic stuff. It's incredible for sightseeing during the day. The architecture is stunning, but here's the problem. It's loud, chaotic, and crowded. At night, it can feel sketchy in some areas. I wouldn't recommend staying here as your home base for the tournament. Visit during the day, take your photos, then head back to Roma or Polanco for the evening. If you do stay here, stick to the well-known hotels near the main square. All right, quick thing. I know I'm covering a lot here, but I'm just scratching the surface on Mexico City. Over the next few weeks, I'm planning on releasing deeper dives on the city. Specific neighborhood breakdowns, Estadio Azteca seating and access strategies, safety tips, all of it. If you're coming to Mexico City for the tournament, whether you've already got tickets or you're still deciding, subscribe so you can catch those when they drop. You're going to want that detail once you're coming here. Also, I put together a complete PDF guide that's going to make this entire trip easier, from planning to when you're actually in Mexico City. When you're planning, I'm going to talk about neighborhood safety comparisons so you know which areas are safe, authorized taxi and Uber info, emergency contacts and hospital locations. And when you're in Mexico City, it will tell you about safe restaurant addresses you can pull up on your phone, altitude survival tips so you don't get winded, Estadio Azteca seating charts and access routes, bottled water versus tap water guide, emergency contacts if anything goes wrong. Everything you need right in your pocket. Download it to your phone or print it out. It's available in Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Arabic, Japanese, Mandarin, Korean, and English. It's in the pinned comment below. Grab it now. You'll use it while booking your trip and then every day while you're in Mexico City. All right, let's talk about Estadio Azteca. This is one of the most legendary venues in all of football. Let me give you the details you need to know. The basics: Azteca holds about 87,000 people, making it one of the largest stadiums in the world. This is where Pele won his third World Cup in 1970. This is where Maradona scored the hand of God and the goal of the century in 1986. This stadium has hosted 2 World Cup finals and is now hosting the 2026 opening match. When you walk into Azteca, you're walking into history. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. The stadium is located in the Tlalpan area in the south of Mexico City, about 10 to 12 miles from the main tourist neighborhoods. The altitude. This is important. Here's something you need to understand. Mexico City sits at 7,200 feet. That's 2,200 meters above sea level. That's high. If you're coming from sea level, you're going to feel it. What this means, you'll get winded faster. Walking upstairs will be harder. If you drink alcohol, it hits you quicker and the hangover is worse. Your body needs more water to stay hydrated. This isn't just at the stadium. This is everywhere in Mexico City, but it's especially noticeable when you're climbing stadium stairs or walking around Azteca. Here's my advice. Take it easy the first day or two. Drink way more water than you normally would. Don't overdo it with alcohol, especially before a match. Give yourself time to adjust. Talk about getting to the stadium. This is where it gets interesting. Estadio Azteca is not in a convenient location for public transit. It's in the south of the city, and on match day, it's going to be absolutely packed. Your main option is Uber. This is probably the best option for getting close to the stadium. From Roma or Condesa, you're looking about 45 to 60 minutes and maybe 10 to 15 US dollars, but there's probably surge pricing. From Polanco, maybe 60 to 75 minutes and 15 to $20. The key is to have your driver drop you off early, like a mile or two from the stadium, and walk the rest of the way. Traffic getting into the stadium area on match day is going to be gridlocked. You'll save time by getting out and walking. There's also the Metro Plus light rail option. If you want the full local experience, you can take the Metro to Transqueña station on the Blue Line 2, then transfer to the Xochimilco light rail. That's Xochimilco light rail. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. And take it to Estadio Azteca station. It's cheap, less than $1 US. But here's the reality. On match day, this is going to be absolutely packed. I'm talking sardine can, can't move, intense crowds. If you're comfortable with that and you want to save money, go for it. But if crowds stress you out, just take an Uber. So here's when to arrive. For a World Cup match at Azteca, arrive at least 2.5 to 3 hours before kickoff. Security is going to be tight, lines will be long, and with 87,000 people all trying to get in, you don't want to be rushing. Plus, with the altitude, you'll want time to catch your breath, hydrate, and soak up the atmosphere before the match starts. The stadium experience. Azteca is an older stadium. It's been renovated, but it's not a brand new NFL facility like MetLife Stadium in New York. The bathrooms are functional but not luxurious. Food options are standard: tacos, tortas, beer, soda. The food inside is safe to eat, and prices will be typical stadium markup. Figure $5 to $10 for food, $5 to $8 for beer. The bag policy will be strict for the World Cup. Expect small, clear bags only, similar to other venues. Check official guidelines before you go, but plan to travel light. Cell service can be spotty with 87,000 people on their phones. Be sure to download your tickets, take screenshots, and don't rely on having a signal. After the match, when the initial surge of people clear out, make sure you can hang back for 20 to 30 minutes. This actually does let all the people get out. You can grab some food, take photos, enjoy the atmosphere. If you're taking the metro, expect massive crowds and long waits. If you're taking an Uber, walk away from the stadium, maybe 15 to 20 minutes before you call your ride. Traffic right outside the stadium will be a nightmare. Be patient, stay hydrated, and go with the flow because it's all part of the experience. So here's what to bring. Make sure you bring small, clear bag, and make sure that bag has tickets, digital tickets plus screenshots, your ID, cash, because not all vendors take a credit card, a portable cell phone charger, sunscreen. The June sun is going to be strong, bottled water so you can stay hydrated at altitude, and maybe a light jacket. The evenings can cool down a bit. Here's what not to bring: large bags, outside food or drinks, anything valuable you don't absolutely need. So now let me give you the basics on getting around Mexico City. Uber is your best friend. I can't stress this enough. Uber is the safest, easiest, and cheapest way to get around Mexico City. It's tracked, the drivers are rated, and it's incredibly affordable compared to other major cities. A ride that would cost you $25 in New York might be $3 to $5 here. A ride to the stadium that would be $70 in the US might be $10 to $12. Use it liberally. Don't feel bad about taking Ubers everywhere. It's the smart move. Let's talk about the metro. Mexico City has an extensive metro system. It's cheap, less than $1 per ride, and it covers most of the city. If you're comfortable with crowds and don't have luggage, it works fine. The main lines you might use are Line 1, pink. It runs east to west through the city. Line 2, it's blue, connects to Tasqueña for the light rail to Azteca. Line 3, it's olive, runs through Polanco. The metro can get very crowded though, especially during rush hour. Be sure to keep your belongings close and be aware of pickpockets. But honestly, for the convenience and safety, I just use Uber for most things. Walking in Mexico City. Mexico City is walkable in the safe neighborhoods: Roma, Condesa, Polanco. You can walk around during the day and evening no problem. The altitude means you'll get tired faster, so pace yourself. Don't walk around with your phone out all the time. Be aware of your surroundings. Stick to well-lit, busy streets at night, for sure. Now here's your match day strategy. On match days, give yourself extra time. If kickoff is at 3 p.m. and you're in Roma or Condesa, leave by noon. Seriously, factor in traffic, crowds, and the fact that you'll want to arrive early. Use Uber to get close to the stadium, then walk the final stretch. Have your tickets ready on your phone with screenshots as backup, and just go with the flow. Now, here's how you stay healthy in Mexico City. And this is a section that's unique to Mexico City. We're going to talk about staying healthy so you can actually enjoy the trip. The altitude, I mentioned this already, but it's worth repeating. Mexico City is at 7,200 feet. You will feel it. And here's what you can expect. You'll get winded walking upstairs. You'll feel tired more quickly. If you exercise or walk a lot, you'll notice your heart rate is higher and you're breathing harder. Here's how to handle it. Be sure to drink a ton of water. I'm talking way more than you normally would. Take it easy the first day or two. Don't try to pack in 10 hours or more of sightseeing. Make sure you get good sleep. Your body will adjust after a day or two. Alcohol and altitude don't mix well. A couple beers will hit you harder than usual and the hangover will be worse. If you're going to drink water between every drink. Trust me on this. Now, this is critical. Do not drink tap water in Mexico City. Not from the sink, not from a fountain, nowhere. Always drink bottled water. Every convenience store, every restaurant, every hotel will have it. It's cheap, maybe $1 to $2 for a big bottle. Brush your teeth with bottled water. Don't use ice in drinks unless you're at a nice restaurant that you trust uses filtered water. This isn't me being paranoid. This is just how it is. The water system isn't designed for tourist stomachs, and you don't want to spend your World Cup trip in the bathroom. Let's talk about street food. Yes, but be smart. Mexican street food is incredible, and you should absolutely try it. Tacos, tamales, quesadillas. It's some of the best food you'll ever find and you'll ever have. But be smart about where you eat. Look for busy places with a lot of turnover. That means the food is fresh. Avoid places that look dirty or where food has been sitting out for hours. If you see a taco stand with a line of locals, that's a good sign. Eat there. Use hand sanitizer before you eat. Avoid raw vegetables unless you're at a sit-down restaurant. Stick to cooked food from street vendors. Most people are fine. Some people get a mild stomachache. If you're nervous, just eat at sit-down restaurants for the first few days until your stomach adjusts. The turista stomach. Even if you're careful, you might get a mild upset stomach. It's just your body adjusting to different bacteria in the food and water. It's called turista or traveler stomach. Bring Pepto-Bismol or Imodium just in case. Most pharmacies in Mexico City sell it over the counter too. If it gets bad, like you're really sick, go to a doctor or hospital. Let's talk about medical care in Mexico City. The care is good and affordable. Your travel insurance should cover it. Staying safe health-wise. Make sure you bring any prescription medications you need. Don't count on finding them here. Bring basic stuff, pain relievers, antacids, any allergy meds you use. Pharmacies are everywhere and they're called farmacias. You can buy most over-the-counter stuff without a prescription. If you need a doctor, ask your hotel. Most nice hotels have a doctor on call or can recommend one. Here's some food basics. Because Mexican food in Mexico City is one of the absolute highlights of your trip, you'll want to remember this. Here's what to eat. Tacos, obviously. You'll find taco stands on almost every corner. Al pastor, it's spit roasted pork. Carne asada is grilled beef. Carnitas, braised pork. All incredible. A taco costs maybe 50 cents to $1. Eat a dozen of them. Tamales for breakfast. Quesadillos, which in Mexico City don't always have cheese. It's weird, but true. Tortas, they're sandwiches on crusty bread. Pozole is hominy soup. Mole is complex sauce, absolutely delicious. The food here is unreal. Make sure you eat everything. Here's where to eat. In Roma, Condesa, and Polanco, you'll find everything from street stalls to high-end restaurants. The street food is safe if you follow the guidelines I mentioned. Busy places with turnover. That's what you look for. For sit-down meals, you can't go wrong in these neighborhoods. There are incredible restaurants everywhere. Markets like Mercado Roma or Mercado de Coyoacan are great for trying different foods in one place. Tipping in Mexico City is expected, but not as high as in the U.S. 10 to 15% at restaurants is standard. Some places add a service charge, so check your bill. For street food, you don't need to tip. For sit-down meals, 10 to 15%. For bars, maybe 10 to 20 pesos per drink. That's about 50 cents to $1. Food in Mexico City is incredibly affordable. A street taco is 50 cents to $1. A sit-down meal at a nice restaurant might be $15 to $25 per person. You can eat like a king for way less than you spend in New York or London. Here's some practical tips. Let's talk money and practical stuff. The currency in Mexico is pesos. The exchange rate fluctuates, but as of now, it's roughly 17 to 20 pesos to $1. You can use US dollars at some touristy places, but you'll get a bad exchange rate. Just use pesos. ATMs are everywhere. Use ones inside banks or at your hotel. They're safer. Your card will probably charge a foreign transaction fee, but it's usually the best exchange rate you'll get. Withdraw a larger amount so you don't pay ATM fees multiple times. And be sure to notify your bank before you travel so they don't freeze your card thinking it's fraud. Most sit-down restaurants and hotels take credit cards as well. Street vendors and small shops are cash only. Carry both pesos and a credit card and you should be good. Make sure you use your credit cards at hotels and nice restaurants because there's a better exchange rate, and use cash for street food and small purchases. Let's talk about budget. Mexico City is very affordable compared to other major cities. A realistic daily budget. For a budget traveler, $40 to $60 per day for street food, cheap accommodations, public transportation. Mid-range is about $80 to $120 per day. That's a mix of street food and restaurants, Uber, and a decent hotel. And luxury would be about $150 to $250 plus per day. That's nice restaurants, nice hotels, fancy restaurants, and no worries about cost. These are just rough estimates, but you get the idea. It's much cheaper than New York or European cities. The emergency number is 911, and that works in Mexico City for police, fire, or medical emergencies. Tourist police, or Policía Turística, are available in major tourist areas if you need help. Look for officers in white uniforms. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico City. Keep the address and phone number in your phone just in case. And so, all right, here's a quick reminder. This video is just the overview. I'm planning on releasing full deep dives on Mexico City over the next few weeks. And I'll be talking about neighborhood guides, Azteca breakdowns, safety tips, all that detail. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those, especially once you've got your tickets and you're planning the specifics. And grab that free PDF guide from the pinned comment. You'll use it while you're planning, talking about neighborhood safety comparisons, authorized taxi information, emergency context, and then every day when you're in Mexico City with safe restaurant addresses, altitude survival tips, Azteca seating charts, hospital locations, all of it ready on your phone or downloadable. It's available in Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Arabic, Japanese, Mandarin, Korean, and English. Safe travels. Mexico City in 2026 is going to be absolutely incredible and can't wait to see you there.